Hey, welcome to this tutorial. Today's video, we're going to be showing you how to make this Nuclearcraft reactor right here, a fusion reactor size 11, which produces over 4 million RF per tick. With that, let's get into it. Okay, first let's go over what you need for the fusion reactor. So you're going to need, obviously, a lever, 10 speed upgrades. These are Nuclearcraft speed upgrades. You're going to need 27 electric pumps. You're going to need a bunch of ultimate mechanical pipes for mechanism. You're going to need 9 electrolyzers from Nuclearcraft. You're going to need about, I would say, 3 stacks of resonant flux ducts, or a higher tier of cable that can transfer a bunch of energy. You're going to need 22 infinite water sources from Nuclearcraft. You're going to need 26 active fluid coolers. You're going to need 40 fusion connectors, 9 basic induction cells, 9 basic energy induction providers, about 82 induction casing, induction port, 4 supercoolers, 4 compact helium collectors. This is the second tier of helium collectors, 1 fusion core, about 104 fusion electromagnets, then about 4 stacks and 56 transparent fusion electromagnets. You're also going to need about 3.5 stacks, roughly, speed upgrades, and you're going to need 27 filter upgrades. So with that, let's get into building. So I'm going to take the fusion magnets and the fusion core, along with the fusion connectors and the resonant flux ducts, and we're going to get started building this structure. So first you want to place the fusion core, and then you want to place, since this is a size 11, you want to place 10 connectors on each side. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 10. I'm going to finish that on each side. I'll be right back. Alright, that's finished. So now we're going to place the transparent fusion electromagnets. So you're going to start on the end right here, and just going to place it like this in a square pattern all the way around. Next, you're going to place just the fusion electromagnets right here in another ring all the way around. Make sure that the corners are connected for all of these rings. All corners should be connected. Okay, with that done, you can place more transparent fusion electromagnets like this on the outside. Then one more ring is going to go on top with airspace in between. Alright, that's the electromagnets done and placed. So with that done, now we're going to place the flux ducts. And this is pretty important. You want all of the electromagnets to be powered at once. So the way I do this is by running cable all the way around on both the top and bottom. That way every single magnet gets powered at the same time. There are other ways of doing this. You can do like different points of power. I feel like this works the best and is the most consistent. And for cables, you're definitely going to want to use flux ducts that are resonant tier or higher. For this, actually, I would recommend you use cryo-stabilized flux ducts if you have them. Just because they're faster, they have infinite transfer rate, and so your reactor will start up faster. It won't affect the reactor's speed after what's called the reaction starts, but it will affect the speed at which the reaction starts. So if you want your reaction to start faster, then use better cables. But for this demonstration, I'm going to be using flux ducts that are the lowest tier just to show you that you can use these and that it will work with resonant flux ducts. When you get into like higher tier fusion reactors, you can't use resonant flux ducts anymore because they just don't have enough throughput. I think in this version, I don't actually know, but I think this is Enigmatica 2 Expert. The transfer rate is 250,000 RF per tick. If your transfer rate is not that high, then you probably need to replace your cable with something higher. That's my bad. I should have mentioned that before. This what's called fusion reactor doesn't use that much to power the electromagnets. I think it uses about like 60,000 or so. The problem is the initial startup costs so much RF per tick that if you don't have enough RF per tick, it won't start up. So you need to have a lot of throughput. That's why you can't use like hardened fluid ducts or like something like that. You could use a capacitor bank and like start the reaction, then have like hardened flux ducts all around. But it will be pretty hard to set up. Okay, that's done. But also make sure you connect your cables. So I'm just gonna connect it like this. You could hide the cables underneath and connect it like at the bottom so it's like looks better, but it doesn't matter for me. I'm just showing you how to build it. Also, let me change it to daytime so it looks better. Okay, so with that done, we don't need these anymore. Actually, no, we do need these actually. So if you ran out of flux ducts, you need to make some more because we still need more. The next, I'm going to show you how to make probably the induction cell next, because you probably want to get this started as soon as possible. I'll show you how to make the fusion reactor first, just because that's what most people want to know. But for powering it is pretty important, so I would actually build this first. I already have mine built, but I'm going to show you how to build it. So you're going to need 82 casings, and you're just going to place it like this. The inside's going to be a 3x3, and it's going to be 2 tall. I guess 4 tall technically. So you're going to want 9 basic induction cells and 9 basic induction providers. This is what I found works. It's probably not the most optimal, but it gives you enough throughput and enough storage to start up the reactor, power the pumps, and I think it works pretty well. You could just have a bunch of power, but I recommend storing your power first before you try and start the reactor, just because this reactor requires a large amount of power to start up. It's kind of like a sneaky power. You're gonna want to make sure you place your induction port. It's like a sneaky power cost. You don't notice that it takes like I think like a couple like hundreds of thousands of initial what's called like RF just to start it up. So you definitely want like some power storage or something to start this reactor, unless you have crazy production already. So with that done, now we're gonna focus on the pumps. Okay. Now for the pumps, we're gonna use filter upgrades to convert normal water into what's called heavy water. And since we need a bunch of heavy water, we're going to use 27 pumps. Okay, so for the pumps, do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. So yeah, 27 places for the pump. The pumps get power from behind, so keep that in mind. There's no other way to power these pumps. As far as I'm aware, they all take power from behind. And actually, I shouldn't place all these pumps. I'm gonna copy the first pump after I place the upgrades in them, but you're gonna have to place all the pumps and then. So I would place all the pumps first, then place the filter upgrade in first. So filter upgrade. Then you're gonna want 8 energy upgrades. I would do the energy upgrades first, just so it doesn't use too much power if you're powering it already. I mean, mine aren't powered, so I'm gonna use the induction cell to power it. So we got the, then these are essential. You don't actually need the energy upgrades. I added them because the energy cost is so high that it's pretty essential to have energy upgrades, but you don't actually need them. You can just use speed upgrades. You need all 8. Okay. With that, I can probably clear my inventory. Yeah, that's probably fine. I'm just gonna copy this pump, and this should have all the upgrades in them. But since you're not gonna be in creative, you're gonna need to actually place all these pumps and add all the upgrades. Make sure each one has all the upgrades, otherwise the pumps won't pump fast enough. Okay, with that done, you place the water. You can just use a bucket and use one of those infinite water sources you had before and just like bucket out the water. I'm just gonna use a bucket from creative. It's faster. Okay, with that done, now we're gonna place the electrolyzers. So for this, you're gonna need about 9 of them, and you're gonna need these ultimate mechanical pipes. I probably should have included this, but you need a configurator as well. So I'm just gonna search for one. These are super easy to make. Usually in most mod packs, they are included with some quest or something, or mechanism. You can just get them pretty easily. So, but yeah, more flux ducts. So I'm gonna power these. It's called electrolyzers. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Perfect. Then on the top face of each electric pump is where the output of the fluid comes. So place mechanical pipes or something equally as fast. You do need this, it does need to be ultimate. That is because the pump rate needs to be very fast to fill up the reactor, because it actually drains so much deuterium that you need very fast pump rate. You're going to hit each one of these with a configurator. I'm going to change it to day again. Just shift right click twice. And if it's breaking the pipe, you could just shift and scroll wheel with your mouse to change it to the item configurate mode. Then it should do this. Okay. You need to do this for every single pump. Okay, with that done, it's already connected to the electrolyzers. Now, what you want to do in each one is go to the output tank configuration, click on it, and disable all of these connection points, and make sure it's on void all. You're going to want to do this for the bottom two, these two. So click here, and then these two. You want to make sure these are both void all, and all the tops and bottoms are disabled. I'm going to do that for every single one of these, and I'll be right back. Okay, I finished that. So now you want to pump either from the top or the front. Just place all these pipes. Again, ultimate. And configure it so it is pulling. Okay, with that done, we're going to want to connect it to the reactor. So since it's over here, it's probably ideal to place your electrolyzers on this side just so you can save some cable or pipe, but it doesn't matter. These pipes are pretty fast. And also if you want to, you can probably put this pipe underground and like connect it on the bottom, because you can connect it underneath this reactor. But I'm going to do it on top just because it's easier. Okay, then now I'm going to connect the flux ducts to the reactor. Because the center needs to be powered. If your center is not powered, this will not work. Okay, so the pipes are hooked up, pumped are ready, powers are all connected. So now we're going to actually get the power out from our induction cell. Right here, mine's already full. So if yours is not, if you don't have 3 billion RF, you're gonna need to get 3 billion RF somehow. That's how much this reaction is gonna take, including all the pumps being powered. It's about 3 billion. I'm sorry, scratch that. It's about 2 billion, I think. I'm gonna check that at the end of the video. I thought it was 3 billion or 2 billion. Either way, if you fill up this induction cell, you'll be fine. I can actually just check over here. This used about 3. I think he used 3 billion. You see, it's drained. That's because I was outputting, and so it used all the power. But it was at 3 billion. So I used about 3 billion. So first we're going to power the pumps and not the actual reactor. So you want the reactor to be full of fuel first before you start it. Even though there is a window before you start the reaction, you still want there to be fuel in there. This just helps you run the reactor safely. So you're going to shift right click here, turn this to output. And these should start working. Oh, and also, I think I did not do this, but make sure you put one speed upgrade in each one of the, what's it called, electrolyzers. There we go. Now it's really going. Okay, that's done. So let's check the fusion reactor. And it's full of fuel. Okay, perfect. So now we can connect the power to the actual fusion reactor. So just, since I already have a loop over here connecting both, I can just power it right here. And then the reactor should start up. You should see all the electromagnets turn green. That means it is getting power and it's on. So this should be getting power too. It's gonna slowly heat up to 8,000. Then you're gonna add a lever on top, flip it, and then this reaction should start, and it should rapidly heat up. So I'm gonna cut, and then I'm gonna come back when it's at 8,000, or very close to 8,000. And it's almost at 8,000. I'm gonna place a lever, turn it on. When it hits 8,000, it's gonna start up and start the reaction. You will notice it's going up pretty slowly. If you use better cables, this will go up way faster. So if you have like the cryothium cables, like connected to the center, it can have a higher transfer rate, and so it will go way faster. But this still works. But you have to use resonant flux ducts. I think signalium won't work. But yeah, you see it turned on. Yeah. So what you're gonna want to do is hit the void output overflow. You're gonna want to click it once. That way, the fluid in here won't fill up and stop the reaction. It will void the rest of it. Like it would void the leftovers. So yeah, this is done. Now with this reactor online, we can now add the cooling. So I have the cooling on me. So you're gonna need 4 compact helium collectors, 4 supercoolers, 26 active fluid coolers, and 22 infinite water sources. With this, you will reach 100% cooling, 5,000 cooling per tick. So we're gonna set up over here. I'm gonna place 4 supercoolers right here. Doesn't matter where you place them, just they need power though, so I place them on the flux ducts. Then you're gonna want to place the compact helium collectors. These are tier 2 collectors. So it's 8 of the first tier of helium collector surrounded, I think, with bronze ingot in the middle for each one of these. Okay, with that, you're gonna want to connect them to the active coolers. So you're gonna need 4 of these. So, and you want to make sure they're symmetrical. So if this is the middle right here, I'm gonna place 2 and 2. The reason you want them symmetrical is you get a bonus to placing each fluid cooler symmetrically. So it makes sense to place them like this instead of like 4 like that. Okay, with that, you can place the mechanical pipes ultimate and connect them. And then also configure these. Okay. So these should be getting helium and filling up. Then next you want to come on the corners. You're going to want to place 5 active fluid coolers and then 5 water sources. You want to do that on each corner. You see this is kind of blocking it, so I'm going to move that. Hopefully it doesn't mess this up. Okay. Hopefully that didn't mess anything up. But yeah. 5 on each side. Okay. And now you're going to go into the sides with no supercoolers. And you're going to go to the middle. And you're going to place one active cooler and one water source block on each side. So again, they're symmetrical. And with that, we should have, yep, active cooling rate 5,000, 100%. So what that means is, at 100% efficiency, this reactor should stop producing heat, and it should be stable. And I'm gonna try and show you if this one is at that point. It's been running for a while. It might be at that point. Let's see where it's at. It's at 91% efficiency. But if you look at the temperature change, it's going down. See, it's dropping. So eventually it'll get to 0. And I think I'm not sure if it's at 100% efficiency or if it's close, but eventually it will be stable at 100% efficiency. So yeah, and you can see it's already producing over 4 million RF per tick right here. So yeah, that's gonna be this tutorial video. I will be making size 24 over here, so sneak preview. You see this bad boy. It's pretty big. So stay tuned for that, but see you guys next time.